Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Create with Brenda. I'm Brenda Hillard at createwithbrenda.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I absolutely love the world of paper crafting. So if you've joined me before, welcome back. If this is your first time viewing with me, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel, and I would love to have you subscribe. I would love to have you click on the bell to get notifications of all of my upcoming projects, or as I call them, episodes. So anyway, let's get started here, and I'll show you what I have in store for you. So here we go. All right. So we're going to be using the Gnome for the holidays. We're going to be using some of the Real Red, and this is the braided linen trim out of the August through December mini catalog, formerly known as the holiday catalog. We're going to be using some embellishments. These are the wonderful gems, and these two are from the August through December mini. And we're going to be using some of the DSP, as you can see on our project here, and that's the Heartwarming Hugs, and that too is from the August through December mini. So let me first off take care of some business here. I want to share with you my offering. Every month I have a host code that's posted on my website at Create with Brenda. This month my host code is here, and with a minimum of a $50 product order, that's before shipping and tax, if you place an order with me during the month of November using this host code, I will send you this A Merry Hello stamp set. This is an exclusive host set, which I feel very, very privileged and proud to offer to my customers this month with a qualifying purchase. So as all you do is place your order over $50, and then the rest is up to me. I send this out to you. If you are one of those people that do not like to order online, I understand. Please either email me or call me, and I will post that information down below in the description here on the video, and I will be happy to place your order for you. So let's get started with our project. All right, so like I said, we're going to use the Gnome for the holidays. Gnome for the holidays is a cling stamp set, which means it's the red rubber, and it does have the sticker back on the stamps, which these have improved greatly. If you're a previous stamper and you kind of know the issues of those falling off, that does not happen anymore. They're awesome. So give those a try. If you're really new to stamping and you've not stamped before, all of our stamps are repositionable onto the acrylic blocks. So this is an 8-piece stamp set, and all you have to do is just take your little stamp out of there and attach it to your acrylic block, ink it up, and you're ready to go. And these come in, like, the cases are really nice for storage, for like bookcase storage, because of the, it's like a DVD case, and so you can just stack them right up, and they're pretty awesome. All right, so there's that. Here's the supplies or the pieces that you're going to need. You're going to need one standard A2 envelope, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to fold it in half. And it's always good to give stuff a good crease with the bone folder. All right, so that's where we're at with that. Our next thing is we're going to cut the flap of our envelope, and I always like to kind of miter a little bit at an angle, and I'll show you why in just a minute. And when I say miter, you just cut this thin little triangle piece out of there. So you have these two flaps, okay? And then we're going to take the 1.5 inch circle punch, and this is out of the annual catalog. It's one of our 3 remaining circle punches that we have left. And all you do is you push it in there as far as you can over to the side. You can even curl the envelope up a little bit. And then we're simply just going to punch. And this, I kind of ripped it a little bit, sorry. That was me being in a hurry. I'll just straighten that edge with my scissor. Okay, so now I have this loop, or this tab, and what that's for is, let me use this one. I have the card in there. You just untie, and then your gift card slides right in like that. Okay, so we want that little circle there. So that's what we have. And then I'm just going to use one of our old aqua painters. It just has water in it to moisten the glue on the flap. And then we can just tuck that down, and it just helps make that pocket a little sturdier. And then on this side, we'll add some water there. And then we'll just adhere that down. So now we have the gift card pocket, and we have the inside, okay? So we'll just set that up there for now. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper that measures 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. You're going to need 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock that measure 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. You're going to need 2 pieces of, and I'll just say coordinating cardstock. Mine is real red because that's what coordinated with my designer series paper. But that measures 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I'll put all these measurements and quantities down below in the description too on my video. You're going to need a couple scrap pieces of Whisper White, and you're going to need a scrap piece of Pear Pizzazz if you're using the same designer series paper that I am. Otherwise, just coordinating. So let's start with the inside flap on our gift card holder. I'm going to take one of the real red pieces and one of the Whisper White. And now before we adhere anything to the inside of our envelope, I want to stamp my piece first. That way, if I don't get the image that I want, I have a back side to that piece of paper that I can use. I'm going to ink up my little elf here, or gnome, with the Tuxedo Black, Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because I'm going to be coloring him with the Stampin' Blend markers. And you want a permanent, an archival ink when you color with the alcohol-based markers. Otherwise, your base image will smear. And I'm just going to use the sentiment from the stamp set, Holly Jolly Everything. All right, I'm happy with those images, so I'm just going to close my ink to keep it from drying out. And then I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Blends. Now, these are the alcohol-based markers I was telling you about earlier. They do bleed through the paper that you're coloring on, so you're going to want to make sure that you have something to protect your surface below. I'm using our silicone mat, which these mats are amazing. The Stampin' Blends come in combos. Right here I have the Old Olive combo. You always get a dark and then a light, and that's for the shading and the blending. So I'm going to use the light Old Olive, and I'm going to start out by coloring the ornament. I'm going to color his socks. I should mention too that these have a bullet tip, and then they also have a wide paintbrush tip when you're doing bigger areas to color. I'm going to color the mistletoe that's hanging off the tip of his hat. And we're also going to give him a red and green striped hat. And I don't know about you, but I find coloring very, very relaxing, very therapeutic. I always have. So now I'm going to bring in and I'm using the dark Real Red, and I'm just going to use that bullet point again to color the bow that hangs off the tip. And then we'll finish striping his hat. I'm being kind of messy here, sorry. But I guess I like when I color to kind of keep my head over what I'm coloring, and when you're videoing, that's not the case. All right. I'm going to bring in the petal pink marker, and I'm going to use that just to color that little bit of his face that's peeking out, color his nose and his hands here. And then I have the Real Red again, and we're just going to give his little jacket and his socks. You can see how nice these go on. There's no coloring lines. It's solid color. I'm going to finish off the ornament here. And I'm not using these, I'm not shading like they're meant to be, but you can see that doesn't matter. It lays down a really nice color on our project. And then I have the Mango Melody, and I'm just going to do a little dot right on the top to make it look like the ornament has a brass top. The light Smoky Slate, and we're going to use that just to help add some color to his beard and mustache. Okay, so there's the coloring for our little gnome for the inside. I'm going to flip him over and take some Stampin' Seal and just adhere this to the Real Red, and you'll see here that it's a very fine or very thin border that I've created, okay? Then I'm just going to add some seal to the back. Bring our envelope back in, and on the side that we sealed the flap down, this is where we're going to add this piece. And all that does is just finish off that inside so you don't see the flap, okay? Flip that over. You're going to need about 14 inches of the ribbon, or I'm using the Real Red braided trim. And all I do for this is I just kind of even these up over here on the right side where we'll be tying our bow. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and a glue dot. And I'm just going to put that in the center and press our trim on there to help hold that, okay? So then if we take our other Real Red piece of cardstock, better take my notes off there, and we want our other piece of Whisper White. We're going to add some Stampin' Seal to that. And again, it's a very fine border or mat. And then I'll add our piece of Designer Series paper. So we end up, it looks like that, okay? I'm gonna move this off to the side, and I'm gonna bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I just call it the Boss because it cuts like a boss. All right. The platform system, you have your main cutting platform, number 1, and they're marked right up here in the corner. Number 2, it's a little shim. The cutting plate, you can see my cutting plates are well loved, but they still work just fine, and they can be replaced when needed. All right, so I'm using the dies. And you guys, if you aren't into die cutting, that's okay. You can just keep layering that project up. But I'm going to be using this stitched frame from the Tastefully Labeled Dies. And I'll put that here on a scrap piece of Pear Pizzazz. And then before I actually cut this, I want to stamp our other little gnome that we're going to have on the front. So again, with the Memento black ink, I'm just going to stamp him onto our piece of paper. And the reason I'm stamping ahead of cutting is because then that gives me the ability to frame him in this die just like we want it, okay? So then all I have to do is just crank it through. I don't have my plates quite lined up. All right. Now I can just crank it through the Boss. That cracking noise is okay. That's just the plates. And then is what we have is, let's give ourselves a little room here. This just pops right out. Look at how cute and perfect that is. And then here's this one. These dies from this Tastefully Labeled dies are amazing. This one is stitched. Others in that die pack are embossed. And they're just really, really nice. This one for the little gnome is from the Hippo Friends and Dies. So it's the smallest. There's a set of 3 here. It's the smallest of the 3. And then for the sake of time, I'm not going to have you watch me color another gnome, but I have one here that I've already colored. And is what we're going to do with him is just add some seal to the back. And we'll add him right in here to our die. And then we want to pop him up on some dimensionals. And these dimensionals, you know, have the little wax paper backing. So take that off so it's sticky. We're going to bring our envelope back in. And we need the rest of our pieces here. So here's the one we layered up. So now we're just going to add our little gnome to the front, and then we can add some seal, and we can just attach that to the front flap of our folded envelope. There is a little sentiment in this set called A Little Christmas Wish, and so I'm just going to use a scrap piece of the Whisper White, and again using the Memento Black, Tuxedo Black, I'm going to take this A Little Christmas Wish, and I'm just going to stamp that onto our scrap. And I'm going to bring in this punch, and now do you think I can remember the name of that punch? No, but it truly is one of my favorites. It's called the Classic Label, So is what I'm going to do is I turn the punch upside down. I'm going to put this in here and just kind of center it up. Punch. And there's my little tag for the front of my gift card holder. I'm going to put a dimensional, a full-size dimensional on the back. It fits. And then I'm just going to add that right here at the bottom. And then, of course, you can't just be done. So now I'm going to bring in those wonderful gem embellishments. And this is a beautiful pack. There's like the gold sparkle and then there's the red, and they both have glitter. So they sparkle really nice. I'm just going to pick up a gem with my take your pick. I'm going to put one sparkle on each end of our little banner here. All right. So there it is. Holly jolly everything. Let's bring our gift card back in so you can see how that fits in there. And there's room to write your sentiment. And then all you have to do is once you get everything loaded into your gift card holder, you can simply tie a bow or a knot. Some people are not bow makers. All right, so there's my project for today. I hope you love it. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll comment and share. All of that good stuff that keeps me going here at Create with Brenda. Have a good day, everybody, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.